Hello and welcome back. You're listening to Family Planet365 on AM 1220 KHTS, and I'm your host, Malena Jackson. Today we talked about family travel. Our guest was Ling Pang from Trekkaroo. You can find more of the family travel tips that she shared at trekkaroo.com, which is TREKAROO.com. Or like she said, you could just Google family travel, baby tips when traveling, and I'm sure they'll come up. It was really insightful to talk to her. I really enjoyed the comment or the tip that she gave us about the bubbles from the wedding. I never thought about that, especially when you are stranded in an airport with the little ones, and it's like, what do I do now? You pull out your little bottle of bubbles and you attract all the kids in the airport, and that makes for a great play date. So definitely take a look at the site, trekkaroo.com. Now, one of the things I wanted to share with you today is a new segment I'm trying out. It's called Family Confidential. Now, Family Confidential is between me and you and me. So you can't tell anyone. But pretty much I am looking at topics and things going on in the news that, potentially affect families or affect how we do family. And through Family Confidential, I'll share with you my take on what's going on in the world. And this week's Family Confidential, I couldn't resist, is Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rosedale. Have you all heard about that? If not, then I'm here to tell you. So they split up. They filed for divorce. It kind of came out of nowhere. I can honestly say I was sad. I actually took to Gwen Stefani's Instagram page and was like, I'm so sorry to hear that you and Gavin are no longer together, and I wish you the best. And not that she read it or even cares, but I was really hurt because I thought they were such a cute couple. And a quick story about when I first moved to LA from New Jersey, my husband was like, oh, we totally got to go to the Grove. You got to go to the Grove. It's a great place. It's beautiful. It's where everyone hangs out. So we take the kids to the Grove. It was like 2 days after Thanksgiving, and Santa was there. So we're standing in line so our kids can see Santa. And I turn around, and who's standing behind me? Gwen Stefani and Gavin with their littles. I was like, oh my gosh, do I say anything? What do I do? I didn't do anything, but I did. My diaper bag did make it into Us Weekly. It made it into Us Weekly because the paparazzi was there and they took a picture of her and Gavin, and my diaper bag was in that shot. I was like, oh my God, I have made it. I am in Hollywood now. So, that was a sweet spot for me. And when I heard that they were breaking up, I was hurt. But then when we got to the root of why they were breaking up. Now, this is rumored, but, they said that Gavin was having an affair with the nanny. And that really sucks because, here we are, you're supposed to be a nanny, and this is close to home for me because I have the nanny factory. As a nanny, you're going in to help uplift the family and to help the family and not to be a burden and to make life easier, not to break up the family. And honestly, I don't get why it seems to be happening mostly in celebrity couples more so than regular couples, but maybe it is happening in the normal families, but we're not hearing about it because TMZ is not reporting on regular couples. So I'll just stick to the celebrity couple, but I'm wondering why is this happening? Don't they know they're going to get caught? Do they want to get caught? And, you think about a lot of people are saying, well, why would she have a nanny who looks so hot? The nanny looks like her. Here's the deal. I think that when your spouse is going to cheat, it really doesn't matter who's there. The nanny, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? That nanny wasn't hot. He had a child with her. I think that when there's this void in the relationship, whoever is there is convenient. So that's my take on it. Don't get caught up in, the nanny can't be hot. Although I like a certain type of nanny when I hire. I just have my type. Everybody has a type. But that's my personal preference. And it's really not due to, I don't want my nanny sleeping with the husband, and I don't. But I think that you should just really look at your relationship. It's really about what's going on in the relationship. So obviously they look good on the outside, but there really wasn't a lot going on in the inside because Gavin was led into the arms of his nanny, and now they're not together. And this whole thing about Gwen being with that guy from The Voice, I can't think of his name right now, but that's just a front. That's not that. She's hurting, and I get that, and she's hurting, and it's great TV, and it's making her look like the stud, and it's all good, but I don't buy it. They won't be together long. But so that's my family confidential. Don't tell anyone. It's just between us. That's how I'm feeling about the whole nanny and sleeping with the husbands. I mean, we what was the other couple? Ben Affleck, apparently he slept with his nanny, and it's not really, it just happens to be the nanny. I don't think that's that's not a trend. That's not the norm. It's just another woman in the house, okay? So don't be afraid to hire a nanny. Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. Don't be afraid to hire a nanny. You need a nanny, but you just got to make sure that your spouse, your spouse is tamed. You got to make sure that he or she understands that they are not to be having a relationship with the nanny, with the help, okay? That's where I'm at. That's Family Confidential. Thank you for tuning in. If you just started listening, I'm Malena Jackson. I'm your host of Family Planet365 on KHTS AM 1220. And today we talked about family travel. If you want to learn more, like I said, you should definitely, even if you just Google family travel with kids, or look up Trekkaroo.com. That was our guest today, Li-Ling Pang. Her and her husband started this company, Trekkaroo, which is an online community offering tips and advice for traveling with your children. And she did mention that the site also offers like great toys, small toys that you can pack to ensure smooth traveling with the little ones when they get, become a little unruly. One of the questions I wanted to ask her was, what do you do when your child wants to run up and down the aisle on the airplane? Because I've had that happen. And you know what I do? I just let them do it, because what else can you do? You're going to just nail them to the chair and have them screaming, so I just go and I stand in the aisle and just kind of let them walk until finally the airline stewardess will go, ma'am, you really need to take your seat now. And I'm like, okay, great, fine. So definitely listen to the interview if you were just tuning in. We'll have it up live shortly. And okay, so coming up next week, okay, now I usually go from light to dark, light to dark, dark to light, whatever. Last week was it was kind of weird for me. We talked about addiction, but it was something I really felt that, I wanted to share with you. Next week, so this week was family travel. Oh, we feel great. It's fun to travel. Next week, I want to talk about how to protect your children from predators, okay? Now, I have a lovely lady coming on from Safe Kids, and I had a great conversation with her. She was telling us how we always tell our kids, don't talk to strangers. And she said, that's not what you should be telling your child. I'm going to share with you next week what she said we should be telling our kids when it comes to helping them know how to protect themselves from predators. Now, I'll tell you, with my older two kids, I always use the story from The Lovely Bones. It's a book, and it also was adapted into a screenplay. And we talk about how the neighbor, was the one. He was the killer. So it's not necessarily like a stranger or someone you don't know, but we're going to talk about how to protect your children and things you should tell them, and coach them on how to protect themselves from people who might not have their best interests at heart. So that's next week's Family Planet 365. I'm your host, Malena Jackson. Thank you so much for being with me today. It was nice to be in the studio, just able to talk to you one-to-one. I had a call-in guest. That was great. But it was really nice to get to know you this week. And hopefully you got to know a little bit more about me next week. Hey, do you have a good family travel tip? If you do, email me at joinus@familyplanet365.com. Or if you have another family confidential that I should share with just us, email me. Join us at familyplanet365.com. All right, that's our show for this week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Goodbye.